Nikhua achet I hlicha Atlantika timtua nak zung dingpol lumpal karak chimlai Dilat May tekle hlicha tibantok Nikhua chironga kumfatin minung tampi anpam hibantok tinong thil tantika nangma le na chungkharle mipini timtua nak ngai chale theicha kha abipitok mabantuk chantika na umnak pong kamkipa emergency weather sirens umlai hlicha aranglai a ma aon mi chu athang pi in saunon ontar asiton ma bantok ontar mi chu ahim nak dinga timtua nak ngei ding in theitar nak si hibantok in hlicha arantika valai tangdeu ummi in khanpol basement tibantok kha ahim nak mun asi thalang helte le akoi khoding mi thilpol shrimshima na umlo asi basement na ngay lo asia chun in anyam nak big munle akhan afat big nak mun zumput closest tibantoka umding asi in adot ni nak a umloading in chunglei deu chu hlichetle tek tlaktika angan ti anun nak big mun asi moto namong tika thuneiro tumi hlikher na mu tika moto chungi chwaklo anyam nak big nak mun na mu nak pawa ithuk moto chu hlikher ni zanga in foite in achoi kho mi thil asi cha ahim lo ma bantok thil achantika emergency kit mi herbal tukmatek cha te in ngai kha cha ma thil pol chu aidin ti le cnc nangma le na chungkhar kha naiji som street le patni chungtal chu ngun na ding in thil dang her ning kha cha haw hibantok thil cha Hlicha tantika nangma le na chungkhar chu munkhatanan kholo men matik cha na pakhat le pakhat contact na iton na munle zaida na to ading timi kha ichin cha her ma thil cha kong lam kan thai kho nak ding chu NOAA timi Nikhua radio choka kan her NOAA radio cho electronic dol pawa mem foite in kan cho kho si kalom
Leitlun hun zakibia ummi chin TV rakzau theu tu nu le pa pol damlen chakin nanum chamo tu chana chu chin TV ni special zadi sin American ramkan tiga Khisia le ro sia ra rang theu chumi chan ara thlen tiga yang tin kam mal ma kan humhim ok ding yang tin kam mal ma kan to mong hlomok ding timi thu thom paper ro in American Red Cross is seen Carol Greeley chu chin TV ni thu su nak le kan to tu mi pol in hu dinga hina kan chin TV station kan nakawasi so first of all Carol how can we prepare if a disaster happen in here?
Okay, well, first thing you need to do is put together an emergency preparedness kit for you and your family. So however many people are in your home, you want to put together enough supplies to keep you and your family safe for 3 days.
3 days.
So the first thing you're going to want to get together is water, and that's again enough for all the members of your family to drink, also make food. You might need it for your pets too for 3 days. So it's a gallon per person per day. Then you also want to have enough food, and this is food that does not perish. The food that you don't need to leave in the refrigerator. And that's enough for each of your family members, and it's usually good to have food that you like and that your kids will eat, and snacks, because sometimes it's really scary to be involved in a disaster, and it's comforting to have the food that you eat and the food that you like in there. So again, enough food and water for each person for 3 days.
So how many gallons for one person again?
1 gallon per person per day.
Okay.
So let's say you have a family of 4, that would be 4 times 3, so that'd be 12 gallons of water. So people usually either get these large gallons or they get the really big ones, or sometimes they'll just get the bottled water, because the bottled water is
carry.
It's easier to carry, and it doesn't leak as much. Another thing you definitely want to have is a first aid kit. And a first aid kit is in case you get hurt while you're in a disaster, like a tornado happens and you get hit by debris or something like that.
Okay.
You can't exactly call 911 and get an ambulance here. You need to treat it while you can. Yes, or if anybody gets a cut or anything that you need to treat it. So it's all right there in your kit. Another thing would be a flashlight and extra batteries. And you need a flashlight for every member of your family. So see, I've got 4 here. So my family of 4 would have a flash, each person.
Everyone have to have one flash.
Yes, that way you can get around the house and you don't have to say, where's the flashlight? And we don't encourage candles because candles, when the power goes out, you don't have lights. We don't encourage candles because candles could start a fire. And then you're in another disaster. So then the other thing we talked about is a weather radio. And this weather radio is programmable for your county. So you can type in your zip code with your mailing address, your zip code, and then that will tell you when there are tornadoes coming in just your county and no other county.
Oh, so just for your county, right? Oh,
so it'll go off just for the warnings for that, which is really great. And it's got a battery backup.
Okay.
But you can also just get a regular radio and take that with you to where you're safe during a tornado, and that'll tell you if there's something coming too. We always want extra clothing and blankets to keep yourself warm during a disaster, and then also extra clothing in case you need to change into it. Or let's say a tornado happens in the middle of the night and you're in your pajamas. You don't want to go to a Red Cross shelter or go out of your house with just your pajamas on. You want to have some extra clothes in your size that you feel comfortable in to wear. So you want to get those. Definitely want to make sure that you remember your pets.
What is that?
This is a pet food bowl, yes. And also enough food, because you've got, again, the water for your pets, but you also want to have the food.
Oh, okay.
And these are just examples, I guess. And then also for babies, if you've got babies or elderly folks in your home that need extra things, like babies need formula and diapers and all the extra stuff that goes with babies. They can't just eat regular food. And then the diapers, but also your elderly folks. If you have your grandparents or your parents living with you, that you need also extra eyeglasses or extra canes, or maybe they're on oxygen. You need to make sure that you have extras of those. So all these items, there's more intricate items too, like your cell phone charger. You definitely want to have an extra cell phone charger because your phone is your lifeline, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
During a disaster. You definitely want to do that. And we talked about games. At one point, if you're in the basement and there's a tornado, keep you occupied.
It's good for adults too. You know, it seems they don't have nothing to do in the basement. You know,
exactly, and pass the time. Or if maybe you need to go to a Red Cross shelter, we have games there. But at the same time, it wouldn't hurt to keep your kids occupied by having some games to play. So those are some definite items too that you definitely want to put. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the medication. You want to have extra medication of yours. If you have medication that you take on a daily basis, you want to have a 3-day supply of that medication in your kit, because if there's a tornado, then there's no way to get to a pharmacy. If you have like blood pressure medicine or something that you have to take, you want to have a 3-day supply. Not a whole prescription worth, but a 3-day supply.
Okay, so when you mention about the water, you say 3 days, right? And also when you mention about the medicine, you say 3 days. So why are you saying the 3 days? So that means it can last 3 days, or why? Why is that?
Well, sometimes during big disasters, and there's debris everywhere, like trees fall down on the roads, it might take 3 days for emergency personnel to get to you or for you to be able to get out. So we say have enough for 3 days so that you can keep yourself alive until somebody can come and get you, or you can get out to go to a Red Cross shelter.
Yeah, so we have to prepare at least for 3 days.
At least for 3 days. You might not need all 3 days.
Yeah, but in case, you know.
In case,
okay,
right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Definitely, yeah.
Carol, what other thing we can do for prepare?
Well, one of the things is your debit card or your credit card that you use at your bank may not work. So you want to get some cash and keep that in your kit. I know it would be hard to keep cash in your kit sitting around. You might want to spend it, but it's really important that in case you can't go out and get money and you need money to maybe buy milk, or when you do get out, you definitely want to have some cash to be able to pay for that. And we talked about the weather radio. I got my weather radio at Kroger, believe it or not, but you can also get it at electronic stores. You can also get just a regular radio that you can listen to radio stations if that's what you need.
But
to.
it's different, right? The regular radio and weather radio.
There's
it's different. Right?
There's different, yes, because the
okay.
weather radio only talks about the weather, and they're the first ones to send out a warning if there's a tornado coming, or like a winter storm advisory. They're the first ones to do that, and that's all it does is it plays weather. So this weather radio would be very helpful in case you are just worried about the weather and you're not wanting to listen to music or anything like that. There is also a weather radio that charges your cell phone on our website on redcross.org, and that's another place that you can also buy one of these kits already made. So this is just an example of one, but what it would have is 3 days worth of food for a family of 4, water, a flashlight, gloves. There's lots of different things in here that you can, that all you have to do is buy it. You don't have to put it all together.
So it's all, I mean, whatever you're gonna need is gonna be in there, right?
Yeah, yeah. So for people that don't want to put it all together, they'd rather just buy it and have it.
Oh,
you
that's
could buy
cool.
that
How
there.
much you pay for that?
Well, it depends on how many people you're buying it for. So for 1 or 2 people, it's not as much as you would buy it for 4 people.
Oh, okay.
So it just depends on what you want to do. A lot of this stuff is already in your house, and all you have to do is put it in a location. So once you put it in a location, you want to tell your family where it is, and you want to keep it there. And you don't want to keep going in and saying, oh, I need this, or oh, I need this.
Okay.
You want to replenish your food, and you want to replenish your medications. And then when you grow, or if you get smaller, if you lose weight, you want to change your clothes.
Okay.
Every 6 months, you want to rotate out the food and the water, because the water could also go bad after a while. And it's a great project if you have kids that obviously they grow, so their clothes are going to get too small, and they want to have their food in there. So it's a great way to get the family involved, to say, okay, everybody, it's time to change out your stuff. Go get some new clothes, and we'll put them in the kit.
You say 6 months at a time?
Every 6 months. When they talk about changing your batteries and your smoke alarms in your home, we always say change out the items in your kit. That's a good way to remember that.
So every 6 months.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every 6 months. And there's also, this is just part of being prepared. You also want to have a plan of where to go if you are told to evacuate. If you can't stay in your home, you need to know where to go, and that way you can find out where the nearest Red Cross shelter is, or you can find a family or friend that you can go stay with. You also want to know 2 ways out of your house in case there's a fire. So there's 3 steps to being Red Cross ready, and one of them is the kit, as we talked about. The second one is to have a plan, and that's a plan to get out of your house or to get out of your area if you have a disaster. And the third one is to be informed, and that's how you're doing, how you know how to be ready for disasters.
Okay. All right, and I think we have a weather channel app or something. So can you tell me more about that?
Sure. Earlier in March, the Red Cross came out with a tornado app.
Okay.
And it's on all smartphones, and you can also get it on Android. And what it is it's a tornado app that will tell you when there's a tornado coming. It will also have a warning siren that will go off. It also has a strobe light and a flashlight in case you can't see in the dark. Yes, it's really great. And
do we have to pay for that, or?
No, it's free.
It's free.
It's free.
Wow, that's cool.
It's
so
free.
just go to Red Cross website and
find it there. Yeah, it's also on the App Store.
It's
at the App Store. And you just download it there. It also tells you where the Red Cross shelters are after a tornado, and it does that for your area. So you can type in your area, and it'll tell you all the warnings that are going on right now for your area.
Okay.
Very cool.